Hi, this is RN Bhaskar from Bhaskar Ki Business Baatein. And thanks for being here, because each week, like we always do, we'll bring you analysis, we bring you an occasional story, and sometimes a conversation. This time we talk of policy. And this time we talk about India's policy and how India has big plans which are necessary, which are required, but which seem to be not properly thought through. We are going to talk about India's infrastructure. India wants to grow its infrastructure. Understandable. A country cannot grow unless its infrastructure grows. America grew when its roadway network grew and its railway network grew. China became big when it had roads and railways and airlines. India needs to have all the three, including ports, if it has to grow. There's only one little problem. Look at the chart. It'll tell you that much of the investment that's taking place now is because the government. Private investment has just vanished. Why has private investment vanished? It's vanished because A, they don't trust the business climate. Infrastructure has to have a consistent policy for 20, 30 years. I build infrastructure today expecting returns little by little for the next 20 years. If suddenly a government comes and changes the rules, I lose money. To protect myself, I take an insurance policy, then the cost of insurance goes up. And so my project cost goes up. So if you have governments both at the center and the states, and a not so strong Supreme Court which can tell the states that you're wrong, infrastructure building becomes risky. Of all the investments, infrastructure is the riskiest because it's long gestation, and hence you want stable governments. The second problem is businessmen realize that there are too many raids and seizures. Money is not safe. And that is also the reason why investment by private sector in investments is not taking place as well as it ought to. There's a third problem which very few people have talked about. The government wants to change the rules of insurance. It wants foreign insurance companies to set up office in India. Foreign insurance companies say that the business in India is not large enough. Why should we spend money and set up an office in India? And the government has several rules which the insurance companies don't like. Now India has a choice. If it goes against the insurance companies, these foreign insurance companies, have the ability to insure large infrastructure projects. Indian insurance companies don't have the muscle. So if it does not listen to the foreign insurance companies, it may suddenly find that insurance companies move away from India's infrastructure, and that could hurt India. But there's a fourth reason, which is evident everywhere. Look at Bombay's roads. Look at many of the roads. They are potholes. You have guys driving BMWs and Ferraris and Porsches on potholed roads. If you want growth, at least make the roads properly. Let me give you another example. One of the most famous bridges in Bombay, and we've done a podcast on that. We've done a podcast on Gigi Bhoy, and you find out that Lady Gigi Bhoy built the Mahim Causeway over 150 years ago. It still survives strong as before. Give me 5 bridges that the municipal corporation has built, which has survived even 50 years. Why can't we build strong bridges? Why do they have to be demolished? And why do we demolish a bridge first and make people wait till the new bridge is built? You want to repair a bridge, build the new one first and then demolish the old one. Why are we getting mixed up in our priorities? And then the last factor here again. Why is it that India's infrastructure lately has become more expensive than they were earlier? It's not inflation. The projected cost is often forgotten, and as the CAG report itself shows, that there's at least a 170% escalation in costs and time overruns because of poor project implementation. Look at the chart. The CAG report is there. You are building expensive projects. You're wasting money because you don't have proper project implementation. Finally, look at one more little thing. Go to an airport. The airport is fine, brilliant, nice. You come out the airport and then you have to walk over not so well made pathways to reach the taxi stand, to reach the bus stand, and sometimes you have to walk for a very long time to reach the railway station. Even Delhi, the metro is on the other side of the airport. You have to cross 2 roads to reach the metro. Why can't we have everything at the airport like overseas? Go to China. Your road, rail, and air connectivity are seamlessly connected. Look after the passengers. Make things convenient for them. Why is it that Bombay's trains are still 1 foot above the platform? I, for one, because I have a problem with the leg, can't travel by local trains, can't travel by long distance trains because I can't climb into trains. You go to the traffic police office in Bombay and you'll find that the department which gives licenses to handicapped has steps that even no handicapped man can climb. So they have to be carried up. So you have a government which talks about being disabled friendly, but has roads, has railways, and approaches to airlines which are not disabled friendly. Which is why the government's plans and infrastructure are a little worrisome. When you have large outlays of money and you don't know how to take care of money, and there's a cost overrun and there's a time overrun, that money is going to be wasted. When you have a government expenditure where only the government spends and the private sector does not spend, it's time to look at your policies once again and give them the guarantee and the security that these laws will not be changed, that these rates of returns will remain constant. Look at the number of disputes that are there in the courts because of solar power. You negotiate one tariff and the next government says these tariffs are too high, we want them revised. It's a 20-year PPA, a 20-year power purchase agreement. And within 4 years, you want the agreement to be changed? Where is the sanctity in laws? And suddenly you set up a project and some department comes and say that you've cheated and takes you up to court, takes you up to jail because your PMLA does not even require any bail to be given. The business climate is bad. Project management needs to be looked at and cost controls must come in. Why is it that Vajpayee's time, Colonel Kanduri could build the Golden Quadrilateral within time, without time and cost overruns? That was also the BJP government. Why is it that Kanduri could do it and today's ministers can't? Something is wrong, and that something needs to be corrected. Thank you very much for being here, for watching this channel, and do remember that we wait for you, that you must subscribe so that both of us can understand each other better. And do write to us in case you have a suggestion about a topic that you think we should cover. We want to be more viewer friendly. We want to deal with topics that the viewers would like to hear about, but only business, no politics. Thank you.